Okay, we got that center section in. We got, you see where we put the clamp on, where that boot, the splines go together. Got my drive line hooked up, and I went ahead and put the axle shafts in. It's not too hard, you just slide them on in here. But I did that so that I could fill it up with oil, so it gave me a chance to see if we had any leaks or anything of that sort, and then that way I make sure I don't forget to put gear oil in the differential. So there it is, all assembled. Never forget to put your breather line on the top, right back here, because if you go through some water and you don't have that breather line on, it'll fill your differential with water, and that's not good. So we're ready to reassemble. Pretty simple stuff. Basically, you know, the only thing you got to remember, just make sure you put a little grease on the bearings and such. You know, I've already gone ahead and packed the bearings in my hubs, but we'll want to grease up the locking mechanisms as we go together. And I'm going to want to get my broom because I'm sick and tired of standing in piles of dirt. So, I'm really glad when I can back this thing out and sweep my shop floor, because it's all kinds of dirty. But, at any rate, here we go. Okay, there we go. A little piece of dirt there. Now we just go ahead and mount this up like so. There we go. Slid on. Okay, so we went ahead and broke out the big book here. Just want to make sure that I get these exactly to spec. Now, I will note that you can do these on feel and by endplay, and you need a dial indicator to do that. And I have one, but I'm not going to do it that way this time. That's something that I'd usually do on a big truck or something. But what it says is on four-wheel drive except F600. You tighten the bearing adjusting nut to 50 foot-pounds while rotating the wheel back and forth. The reason they want you to rotate the wheel back and forth is because by doing that you will actually seat the bearing. Okay, so we got 50 foot-pounds. You will actually seat the bearing, you know, while you're doing it. So there's our 50 foot-pounds. I'm going to seat that bearing, get it on there. The way they would have taught us in college would have been to tighten it up until you can't move it anymore, and then back it off and then take it to your proper torque. But I'm doing this by the book, by the big book. So then they want you to continue rotating the wheel and then loosen and retorque the adjusting nut to 30 to 40 foot-pounds. So we're going to go with a solid 40 just because I don't like 30. It's not a nice number. And I'll tell you what, you can get by pretty well with without using special tools, but boy, it sure does make it nice. So there's 40 foot-pounds. And we roll pretty decent there. Then it wants you to back the adjusting nut off. To back the adjusting nut off approximately a quarter turn. So we're going to go get it in there. And we're going to start from there. And we're going to go a quarter turn. And that, ooh, we got ball joints going out in this thing. Pretty bad too. Then you just check and make sure you got no play. But, so you don't want any slot back and forth. Well, whatever it is, you know. They'll call it 1 to 2 thousandths or so. It says, yep, it says the final end play of the wheel on the spindle should be 1 to 10 thousandths. So, and we definitely don't have more than 1 or 2. But, so there, that is very important, and you need to make sure you do that right, otherwise you can burn up a bearing and lose a wheel, or you can actually have it too loose and lose a wheel the same way. So, either way is not a good deal. So, now we just got to finish putting these apart. I'll tell you what, I'm kind of glad, as much as I know you can get away with using stuff, I'm really kind of glad I bought this today. That just made that job about a whole lot easier. So let's go ahead and finish getting it together. There we go. All we got to do is put the other side together and put the wheels on. The other side goes together just the same as this side, so yep, we'll get her together and take her for a test drive. Well, the wheels are down, wheels are on, pickup's down. Let's see if we can't fire it up and make sure it's good to go. Well, you could probably call this a cold start. It hasn't been fired up in 2 weeks anyways. See what happens.